So today is the last flame, the seventh ray. Again, it's Saint Germain. And there's lots of books where Saint Germain channeled knowledge. There's lots of things that you can hear stories and things about him. And so the chapter 7 is the seventh ray, the violet flame of transmutation. I'm wearing the purple today. And the main God qualities and actions of the violet flame. So these are what you will get from these flames if you practice this. That's why each one of them have a main God quality. And there's freedom, transmutation, transformation, diplomacy, ceremony, and application of the science of true alchemy. So this is where you really understand how to work with energy and creation. Good morning, Rachel. Oh, Frid Ergo Borm says it's 1809 p.m. in Sweden. Well, hi, good morning to you, or afternoon, to you in Sweden. Thank you for joining us. So the main God qualities of the violet flame, I read that. The corresponding chakra is the seat of the soul. The color is violet. The corresponding stone is amethyst and violet fluorite. The Kohan of the seven ray is Master Saint James, also known as the God of Freedom. His retreat is in Transylvania, Romania, and the Great Violet Flame Temple in Jackson Peak, Wyoming. Archangels of the seventh ray are Zadkiel and Amethyst. Their retreat is over the island of Cuba. So in the fifth dimension above Cuba is Zadkiel and Amethyst. The Elohim of the seventh ray is Arcturus and Victoria, and their retreat is near Luanda, Angola, Africa. Luanda, Angola, Africa. So that's where their retreat is. So it says, note, let me mention Omri Tas, the ruler of the violet planet where the seventh ray violet flame is generated for this universe. Let us acknowledge his presence and his perpetual service to this sacred flame. He is also available to assist us in the correct use of the violet flame of transmutation when we include his presence in our invocations. And it's OMRI capital TAS. So he is the one that really can help you lots with the violet flame. The home of Master Saint James, nestled deep in the beautiful natural forests and foothills of the Caspian Mountains near the Hungarian-Romanian border. We come upon the Boranel Manor House in the heart of Transylvania, the home of one of humanity's great benefactors. The Master Saint Germain, his service to life began long before he cried. Start that again. His service to life began long before the crying need of people of the earth for freedom was aroused. Many of his incarnations took place in the immediate neighborhood of his estate. Through the centuries, many benefactors of the human race have been entertained in his gracious house. Though they were not always fully aware of the status of their host, among its many interesting features, the lovely old home holds priceless treasures that mark the milestone in progress of mankind's journey. Embodiment of the Master Saint Germain. In the 11th century BC, Saint Germain was embodied as a prophet Samuel. Next one, Saint Germain was embodied was Saint Joseph, the father of Jesus and the husband of Mary. In the late 3rd century, he was embodied as Saint Albin, the first martyr of Britain. Albin lived in England during the persecution of Christians under the Roman Empire Diocletian. That's Diocletan. Next one, in the 5th century, Saint Germain was embodied as Merlin, the great alchemist, prophet, and counselor of the court of King Arthur. Next one, as Roger Bacon in 1220 to 1292. The beloved Saint Germain was a philosopher, Franciscan monk, and teacher and scientist. Next one, as Christopher Columbus in 1451 to 1506. He discovered America. As Francis Bacon in 1561 to 1626, he was a philosopher, statesman, literary master. Researcher demonstrates that he was the author of the Shakespeare plays and the son of Queen Elizabeth and Lord Leicester. Next one, desiring above all else to liberate God's people, Saint Germain was granted a dispensation from the Lord of Karma to return to earth in the physical body. He appeared as El Comet de Saint Germain, a miraculous person who dazzled the courts in the 18th and 19th century in Europe, where he was known as the Wonder Man of Europe. For more detailed information about the masters and their retreats, consult the book by Mark and Elizabeth Clare Prophet, compiled and edited by Annis Booth, Summit University Press. Excerpts from Lord Zadkiel. So Archangel Zadkiel is going to give us some things here. Those of you who know about the use of the violet flame have special opportunities now to draw forth from your causal body all the knowledge you have accumulated from the past. This flame acts as does the sunshine. Impersonally and instantly, whenever and wherever it is called forth, let the violet flame blaze up in, through, and around your four body systems, and especially through your brain structure, commanding it to transmute the hard and unforgiving thoughts and feelings in your etheric, mental, and emotional body. These hardcore feelings create most of your distress. And this is where we have certain kinds of thoughts and feelings. Cindy, can you bring my tea?
Of course.
Let them be, so like I say, there's certain kinds of things sometimes we're really stuck and we fight with all the time. And it's like allowing this flame to come in to help you to clean up all these old thoughts and things. So I'll read that again. Those of you who know about the violet flame have special opportunity now to draw forth from your causal body all the knowledge you have accumulated from the past. This flame acts as does the sunshine, impersonally and instantly whenever or wherever it is called forth. Let the flame fire blaze up in, through, and around your four body systems, and especially through your brain structure, commanding it to transmute the hard and unforgiving thoughts and feelings in your etheric, mental, and emotional body. These hardcore feelings create most of your distress. So this is where understanding these can do that. They're very intelligent. And the more you use them, and the more you have that energy and work with it, the more it helps you to change. Let them be replaced by gracious, joyous, receptive feelings which open your world to the goodness of God, make you a mighty magnet drawing to you all the good God wants you to have, all the good you once knew. Let the feelings of gratitude to the Holy Father of these gifts so flood your world that you will be able to outpicture more quickly the divine perfection you wish to attain. When you want the violet flame of freedoms, love, mercy, and compassion to act in your world, start invoking it in the name and the authority of your own I Am presence. This flame becomes more powerful each time you call it forth. Long ago on Atlantis and Lemuria, we externalized a gigantic focus of this violet fire on each continent. Its radiating flame was seen by the physical sight from a distance of 1,000 miles in all directions. It is our earnest intentions to recreate these wonders in the area of the seven golden ages, in the era of the seventh gold age. So we're going into that. Lovely ones, the violet flame is absolutely real. The flame is your freedom as it blazes in, through, and around you. Invoke it daily and let it go, and let go of emotional, mental, etheric, and physical chaos. So it'll clean that up for you the more you do this. And you got to connect your I am, your oversoul, your higher self, whatever you want to believe, your light, to work with this violet flame to clean all of this up in your auric field. Because your auric field has got all kinds of things. Your etheric field has stuff too. And when you understand that, you can transmute and clean and get rid of all kinds of stuff. Lovely ones, the flame is absolutely real. This flame is your freedom as it blazes in, through, and around you. Invoke it daily and let it go. Let go of the emotional, mental, etheric, and physical chaos. Accept the divine justice, which is the heritage of your being, to become a god, goddess on this earth, and then achieve the full glory of the ascended master status. Do not limit the power of your I am presence, Master Saint Germain. Please, beloved ones, become reacquainted with that, the glorious presence of which you are an essence, the magic presence. Its wonderful, omnipotent powers are willing and ready to act through you at all times. As your human self, you could not possibly attempt to rehabilitate the human race. Of course not, but your presence can. Your infinite, individualized I am presence has sustained you for eons of time and desires to bring into your world the wonders of the universe. When the incarnated soul voluntarily disconnects itself from conscious contact with the presence, the I am continues in gloriousness and kindness, pouring its stream of light and life energies into your physical heart to sustain your incarnation with the use of intelligence, emotional feelings, powers of thought, memory, and physical action. Your presence and mine are not limited in any way. They are one in action, in glorious perfection, all-knowing and capable of instantly directing 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 rays of transcendent light into every condition, place, or person requires assistance. So this can go, all over the place. This is where if you're using it, it can help people and can go everywhere. It's like with your thoughts and your prayers. You will not raise your deep and sincere attention to the presence and make it feel you are now ready. You'll start that again. Will you not raise your deep and sincere attention to the presence and make it feel you are now ready and willing to work consciously with it again? And this is where you send up your thoughts and your beliefs to connect up here and letting it know this is what you want. When you do this, your presence will turn its attention to you. The stream of light will widen and your capacity to serve will increase through that renewed partnership. From the heart of that presence, you can direct those mighty rays of intelligent light, including the violet fire, to all life everywhere which you may have injured or been injured by. It can go back in time from the moment the shadow of human creation first began to fall upon this dear earth. At your call, your presence will gladly clear and balance in 1 hour, and perhaps in just one moment, any debt you may have incurred with any life stream, whether embodied now or not. And this is where you will clean up all kinds of lifetimes of things. And that's what we're going to be doing so we can go into the fifth dimension. When I meditate and I do stuff, I go higher and higher and higher and higher. I keep going higher. I always try to search for the light and keep going and going and going. People, when they meditate, they want to fly all over and they want to do silly things. And I like making this graph where there's this line above There's a line this side, line this side, line this side, and you're in the center. And people meditate up, and then they go to the right or they go to the left. Once they go there, they get frustrated, they go back to the bottom, and they go down into these lower through anger and frustration. But the whole idea is trying to focus going up, 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 and always something is going to pull you to the right or left, and it's going to try to distract you and do all kinds of things. So now the transmission from the heart of the beloved Saint Germain. The tea should be really good. I steeped it for quite a while. Needed to cool down just a little bit. And like I say, there's lots of things that want to distract us and pull us in all kinds of ways. Hey, Sue Garrett, good to see you joined us. But these things are very intelligent, these energies. They're billions and billions of years old, and you can't command them. You have to call them in, and you have to work with them. And people try to order them around like they're magicians waving wands. It doesn't work that way. If I call this flame in and somebody wants me to, that's going to come in and it's going to clean up what needs to get cleaned up. It's going to bring up whatever is needed to be brought up in a person. And it's going to do all kinds of things, and there's many things that will come in with it. And this is where I know this is very intelligent. I don't try to go around and play silly games and make people believe stuff. Hey, body, mind, and soul. I'm reading the Seven Flames by Ariella Jones. And we have a Skool site. We're putting all of these because I've been reading books. I read the Keys of Enoch. I read all the Telos books. There's 4 of them. And I'm now reading this one. Then I'll be reading the Masters and the Path. And after that, there's another one with all kinds of universal teachings in it. I feel when you have this knowledge and learn how to work with it, it will change so many things. So the transmission from the heart of beloved Saint Germain. Beloved children of my heart, it is my great pleasure and privilege to contribute my message of love in the writings of this Alchemy 7 Sacred Flame book. Indeed, we consider this publication to be a sacred document for the benefit of mankind. Now, dear ones, that is, you read and study the material contained in each page and paragraph of this book. My presence and the presence of the other Kohans and the 7 rays, along with those of your beloved Lemurian family of Telos, will accompany you. So every time if you have this book and you read it, all these beings will come and they will help you in all kinds of things. You will find in these writings everything you need to know to integrate to qualify for your ascension. If you choose to seriously apply the wisdom herein and fully become it, letting go of all the fears and preconceived ideas you have regarding your true nature, your pathway will certainly unfold with the greatest ease and grace. You are the ones, beloved friends, who create all the difficulties and complexities in the process of becoming again what you have always been. And that's where, like I say, you gotta slowly realize who you truly are, but you need to allow the universe to help you to understand and become that. I'm finishing up the 7 Sacred Flames, Tibbets. Okay, you will find in these writings everything you need to know and integrate to qualify for your ascension. Your ascension, you got to do a lot of work. And you have to work with these universal spirits and beings, and it's all about yourself. Once you do that, you help others. And you call in these things when people want it so they can learn and grow. And that's what I do in my clearings. When I do clearings, I call in all kinds of spirits to help people. They come to me and they want it, but after I'm done, the energy goes, and then they go right back to the same things. They go all over and do a lot of stuff, and I'm like, why are you doing that? It's like, I practice and do certain things. Sure, I'll go to a meditation group. Sure, I'll go places and I'll teach and do stuff. I'll go to certain native ceremonies and other kinds of stuff, but I don't go to singing bowl ceremonies. I don't go to cacao ceremonies. I don't go to a lot of things. And I really focus on my practice. I don't, like I say, waste my time doing a lot of things. And I really, really focus on the future and how can I help this planet? How can I help this world? Is something that is always here. And it's been that way since I was a little boy. And so this knowledge is something that I live, breathe, and is a part of me. And when I pray and I do anything, I connect with this energy. And like I say, it's not a magic game. It's something that's real, and everybody can feel it. People come around me, and they all kinds of things go on, and I can tune into them really fast and know where they're at and what they're doing and all kinds of other stuff. And I allow them to figure themselves out. If they want my help, I will help them. But if they don't want, I won't bother. And everybody, like I say, will get to a point where they'll either decide to do it right, or they'll just fool themselves and waste all their energy reincarnating and coming back to undo all this silliness. So if you choose to seriously apply the wisdom herein and fully become it, letting go of all your fears and preconceived ideas you have regarding your true nature, your pathway will certainly unfold with the greatest ease and grace. You are the ones, beloved friends, who create all the difficulties and complexities in the process of becoming again what you have always been. Beloved, realize it is not so complicated and difficult to become the ascended master. If only you allow yourself, without your usual resistance, to naturally be in the flow of your divinity. A divine being in the incarnate experience is truly what you are. It is your birthright and natural state. You have never been anything else, allowing the nudgings of your beloved I Am presence to rule your heart, to rule your life in total trust, and to let go of the resistance and fear. And that's what most of us just have. That's why we're always chasing things. That's why we're always going everywhere, doing all kinds of stuff. It is important for me to bring to your attention that we have been observing you and humanity very closely for a long time. From our perspective of love and limitlessness, it is obvious to all of us on this side of the veil that humanity in general, including most of those who have applied for ascension in this life, share a common problem you are not aware of. Whether you are willing to admit it or not, the fact remains that most of you, if not all, hold a great fear of your I Am presence and of embracing your divinity. That's why I say you have to want to become God. You have to want to become Jesus. You have to want to become Buddha or all these masters. If not, then you'll do it in the next round. You'll reincarnate and you'll figure it out then. And some people have millions of lives yet. They're just young souls. They're here to create chaos. They're here to do stupid things. And they're born to do that. And it's not yours to tell them right or wrong. You have been restless, or sorry, you have been I hate that one sometimes. I know the word and I can't pronounce it. You have been relentlessly programmed over the centuries and millennia by those of the shadow side, and that's the dark side. It's played with us for hundreds of thousands of years. It's taken every spiritual thing and turned it into something stupid. And this is where the truth is really, really simple. When you understand, it's there and you have to work with it. So you have been relentlessly programmed over the centuries and millennia by those of the shadow side who have ruled various aspects of your planet. To fear what you do not fully understand and regret or fight it. And this is where people get into fighting. I'm like, don't do that. Your souls are profoundly imprinted with the erroneous signature of fear. You have also been imprinted with the belief that you are a poor sinner, not worthy of love, and certainly not worthy to be the true Son of God, and equal to the Christ within you, now wishing to externalize. You have all been imprinted with the thoughts and feelings of unworthiness, despair, and hopelessness. Now I ask you to contemplate this state of consciousness thoroughly, because it is a major obstacle of ascension. We urge you to heal and transform that debilitating state. When you heal these pessimistic imprints in your consciousness and fully recognize your true nature, it will be easy for you to perceive the wonders of your divinity and simply embrace them. You will simply step in your divinity like you do an old shoe. I admit that to attain full healing and transformations of the former conscious will take work, processing, and forgiveness. Nevertheless, this is the healing required to pass through all the initiations of the 7 great temples. I repeat, it does not have to be hard or painful. In fact, you can make a game of it, perceiving it to be the greatest adventure of all your lifetime put together, and ride the wave of ascension in joy, love, harmony, and peace, transforming all challenges into divine grace. In your world, you call this to take the lemons and make lemonade. I see your hearts, I see the strengths and weaknesses, I see the tenderness of each of your souls. Yet I see and know that tomorrow's world is being built today through the consciousness of individuals willing to sit at the feet of the masters and accept their words, their understanding, their promises, their visions, and their truth. And that's where all prophecies are coming true. None of them are bullshit. But people want to say, oh, aliens are going to come and just fix the world. Jesus is going to blink and we're all going to be in heaven. I'm like, that's bullshit. Contemplate in silence of your own sanctuary the power of God within and allow it to transform your world. I am committed to helping you, for you are my representatives. You are the life stream that mankind can see. When you when you dedicate yourself in service for the benefit of humanity, your bodies, your world, and your conscious represents my teachings, my world, my very self, and the self of all the masters who are assisting this planet in our evolution. That's why you have to work with them. They will help you with the knowledge. They will help you to understand how to do this. But people think they're just going to do it because they're too ashamed to deal with their truths. They try to hide stuff and then they walk around and say, oh, I'm a master. Oh, I'm a guru. Oh, I'm this and that. But they see everything. They know every lifetime, every last thing that needs to be healed. And it has to be cleansed before you can go into the 4th and 5th dimension. Doing a om at 750 hertz is not going to do anything. Doing the heart chakra singing bowl for hours is not going to do anything. Like I say, this energy is very intelligent, and you can't treat it like it's a dumb little child. It's way more smarter than you are, and it knows everything. And if you live 1,000,000 years, you're going to realize you have to live another 1,000,000 years. So you become 2,000,000 years old, you're still going to be trying to learn and figure it out because it's very intelligent. Dear ones, know that we of the hierarchy are dependent upon you to mirror that which you have received through the years from me and from the other masters of this planetary brotherhood. In the name of God and of your I am presence, I say to you, arise in the mastery of your godhood. Allow yourself to wear the magnificent robes of freedom that I wish to bestow upon you as my representatives in the outer world, and which you shall, in kindness and love, place upon the shoulders of men, women, and children who have incarnated to be part of this wondrous golden age of enlightenment. Use the power of the sacred fire daily. Who among you is going to rise and be? We shall see. To those who have looked into the future and listened to the words of the masters who speak freely of the golden age that is to come, it is pleasing to the hearts to hear, amusing to the mind, and gives hope to those in despair. It is your job, dear ones, to manifest that golden age. As masters in our realm, we have accomplished this already and live it. It is now up to you to demonstrate enough mastery to create this age of enlightenment that you have been waiting for, and that's the age of Aquarius. It's here. When you are going to begin to externalize the golden age, which is my responsibility as Kohan of the Seven Ray to manifest on this planet, it is to those of you who have awakened and accepted the presence of the spiritual hierarchy and the ascended masters' teachings that I look for the inception of the golden age upon the earth. In your lives, in your home, in your work, in your own sanctuary, you will become a powerful magnet, drawing the masses to you. And know that, at first, they will be more interested in the fruits and harvests of your endeavors than in the process by which you have attained your victory of light. We acquire an army of light to bring this assignment to completion. To you who are my friends, I give the assignment to initiate now the establishment of the seven golden age of harmony, peace, beauty, abundance, perfection, and true brotherhood through the path of the love of your own heart flame. Remember, every great thing had a humble beginning. I am Saint Germain, your brother and friend. I have come to claim your soul and the fires of your heart for the victory of the Aquarian age. I have set the patterns of your soul's intention. I am on the path of freedom, and I am God of freedom. Take that path, and you will find me there. I am your teacher if you will have me. From the ashram of the Great Violet Temple, along with the Violet Flame Temple of Telos and your eternal friend Adam, we send you blessings of joy through the miracles of the Violet Flame of transformation and freedom. And here is the chakra flower of the seed of the soul. So the invocation of the violet flame, the mantle of the fire. So it says, from the Lord God of my being, I am that I am. I call to beloved Saint Germain and your legions of cosmic violet flame angels to come forth to infuse and saturate my being with all activities of the sacred flame, especially the violet flame of transmutation and freedom. Then it says, clothe me with the cosmic mantle of the violet fire of transmutation, healing, freedom, diplomacy, and the science of true alchemy. Next one, it says, dissolve and consume from my being all that does not reflect pure love and harmony. Next one, through the mercy flame, transmute all errors of the past and barriers to my ascension. And this is what you have to do. You gotta, because they're all errors, they're all misunderstandings. Mistakes are there for you to learn and grow. So it needs to get cleaned up. Protect the youth of this world in an aura of violet flame. That's why I say we gotta pray for the children. We gotta ask they be protected. This violet flame will help them. So if you're a parent, ask this violet flame come in and be around your children. Don't matter what their ages are, do it. With much gratitude, I ask this to be manifest in God's holy name, and so be it, beloved I am. And you repeat this 3 times. So I will somehow be able to put this there so you can, be able to do this for yourself. And when you have this and you understand it, then you do that 3 times. Each time you do it, you bring in that flame. And like I say, you have to believe in it and you have to choose it. And then there's a discourse with Saint Germain, and that'll take me, I think, all the way to the meditation, which is really, really short. It's about 3.5 pages. So the discourse from Adam with Saint Germain. And this Ariella will be asking them questions, and they will be given answers. Hey, Ganesh, Tina Barker, Fran Harrison. Thanks to all of you, whoever has joined new. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. So the discourse from Adam with Saint Germain. Adam speaks with us about the violet flame, the ray of transmutation accompanied by the presence of the Master Saint Germain. Wonderful meditation is offered at the end, instructing us on how to use the violet flame on our personal path to mastery. So when we do this meditation at the end, like, you will understand how to use it. So you can find a comfortable place after to sit and allow yourself to do this. And it's going to transform, because if you're worshiping gods and that, all of that stuff is ending. Like, even in the native spirituality, real lots of practice and things are not going to be. Hey, Crystal. And this is where we are going into the 5th dimension. So whatever is in the 3rd, it's not in the future. And right now in the age of Aquarius, we're taking down all the old structures. And Christianity is going to get erased on this planet. And like I say, Jesus or Joshua ben Joseph was a pagan. And they created the church and they called it Christianity. And then they created lies and fears all around what he was trying to help us all understand. Everything is about this reincarnation. Not reincarnation, but where you take your energy into this higher. So when he died, he brought himself back. And we're going to transform that. That's what the future, the 5D, is all about. And we're going to all move into that energy into the future. So Ariella, the violet flame represents the energies of change, alchemy, and freedom. I would like to invite you to open yourself to heart communion with Adam and the Master Saint Germain. Adam is quite the heart doctor, and so is Saint Germain, as to speak. He addresses himself directly to your heart, activating a level of healing. This is basically what Adam likes to do. He is also the one that can plug you into Telos in more ways than one. Group, could you explain who Saint Germain is for those not familiar with the alchemy master? Ariel, Saint Germain is and has been for eons the guardian of the violet flame within the spiritual hierarchy. He holds the position of Kohan of the 7th ray. This means that he is the guardian of the violet flame of freedom and transmutation for the planet, which is the action of the 7th ray. He was very well known in France prior and during the French Revolution as the Count of Saint Germain. This immortal being lived and was seen regularly by many for over hundreds of years, always maintaining the appearance of a 40-year-old man. He was called the Wonder Man of Europe, who spoke all languages, played any and all musical instruments, and demonstrated in front of his friends many activities of alchemy. He was also known as one who would materialize in one place, dematerialize, and a few moments reappear several hundred miles away a few minutes later. He has an enjoyable sense of humor and is exceptionally articulate, especially in the English language. Saint Germain has always been a real delight to my soul whenever I have contacted or conversations with this beloved one. To just hear or mention his name makes my heart sing with gladness. Master Saint Germain is one who has been upholding the flame of freedom for the planet for 70,000 years. He is an awesome and dedicated master in the service of humanity. As the Master Jesus was the avatar of the Piscean age, Saint Germain is now stepping in for the next 2,000 years to be the avatar of the Aquarian age. He is fully supported by Jesus/Sananda and our Lemurian family in Telos, as well as the spiritual hierarchy of this planet, this galaxy, and universe. Some masters hold certain offices for a time, then step into a new post, leaving the former post to someone with the attainment to take their place. Group. Was he also embodied as the great Merlin of Camelot? Ariella. Oh, yes, he was Merlin in the time of Camelot in England. Merlin was a noble magician, not in the sense of playing mediocre tricks, but a great master alchemist. Unfortunately, Merlin has been depicted in so many movies and writings by those unaware as a wizard of some kind with a dubious reputation. That is not the truth of who he was as Merlin. Merlin was one of the greatest alchemists of all times, and Saint Germain is one of the greatest masters who has served this planet almost since its inception. And this planet is billions of years old. So, since the beginning of this planet, all other masters honor him greatly for the service he has done on this planet with the violet flame dispensation. The violet flame is one of the most important flames for redemption, transmutation, and freedom. It is like a fire of love that cleanses. Saint Germain said once, if he were to talk about the violet flame for a whole month, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, he could not cover all its benefits. Let's hear what Adam has to say. So I'm going to read a little more and then I'm going to let Cindy come in. And I need to use the washroom and that, so I'll read till 11 o'clock, so about 8 more minutes. Just seeing who's all here. Hey, Peronia. Adam. Good evening, my beloved friends. This is Adam of Telos. Tonight, as always, I have my regular team of 12 masters with me. We also enjoy and honor the honor of having the Master Saint Germain present with us as a participant. Though I am talking through Ariella, the energy of Saint Germain is blended with mine. It is a great privilege for us because Saint Germain is so deeply loved in the inner planes and highly respected by everyone throughout the entire cosmos. He spends much time with us in Telos. We all work together to bring forth the energies of ascension for the planet and for humanity. I would like to give you some explanations about the seventh ray, and if you have questions, feel free to interrupt so that we can create more of a dialogue. The violet flame is a combination of blue and pink ray. It is not one ray by itself. It is a combination of blue for power and pink for love, uniting the energies of the divine masculine with the divine feminine in a wondrous action of spiritual alchemy. The main role of the violet flame is transmutation, an alchemical term meaning to create positive change. For example, by invoking and working with the violet flame, you can transmute huge amounts of karma and misqualified energies from this or past incarnations. And this is where you let the energy do everything. You don't command it. Once the energy is transmuted, you never have to deal with it anymore in your present life because those energies have been erased, forgiven in love and joy with the use of the violet fire. As you work with the energies of the violet ray, it radiates and dissolves unbalanced energies in your auric field, as well as your conscious, your subconscious, and unconscious mind. It can heal many conditions in your lives, and this is where spontaneous healing, many magical things happen. Hey, Angel Alive 22. The violet flame can dissolve karma. Once you have full understandings of the experience lived and many energy patterns created, with its energies you can also create wondrous beauty because it is composed of the power and love frequency. Also included in the violet ray activity is the flame of forgiveness and compassion, which are needed to create harmony and manifestation in your life. There are other attributes of the violet flame, such as comfort flame, the flame of diplomacy, and ceremony. These are all 7-ray activities. Whenever you create comfort, no matter what form it takes, you engage in the 7th ray activity. We also call the violet flame the freedom love flame. When you gain spiritual freedom, you become limitless, and all the attributes of your divinity are at your command. This is total freedom, not just freedom from one thing. The violet flame is a vital tool for your spiritual progress and evolution. Ariella, what exactly do you mean when you talk about the process of spiritual awakening? How can we begin to use the violet flame to heal ourselves and our lives? Adam, the 7 rays can assist in purifications of the substance and the energies of life. There are many ways you can use the violet flame constructively and effectively. You can use it through prayer and invocation. You can also visualize it in your meditation and set your intentions to receive an infusion of this energy in all aspects of your being. You can breathe it into your cells, atoms, and electrons of your body. You can cleanse and purify every thought and feeling in your auric field. Be creative and start writing your own prayers and invocation to it. When these come from the fire of your own heart, they are more powerful than those that have been written by other people. Prayers written by others are most suited for those who write them. Work with it each day and start creating miracles of love in your lives. And then it's the invocation of the violet flame. So it says, as an example, so this is an example they're giving. In the name of the I am of my being, in the name of God, I now call forth the action of the violet flame of transmutation, of compassion and forgiveness in my auric field, for the cleaning and the purifying of every thought and feeling in my solar plex and in all my chakras. I ask the action of the violet flame to permeate every cell, atom, and electron of my 4 body systems at this moment and at all times each day of my life, 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the healing of all distortions in my energy field from past and present misunderstandings. I ask the energies of the violet flame to start healing all distortions in my physical, emotional, and mental body. With much gratitude, I now ask for the action of the violet fire to manifest in my energy field in full power, and so be it. So that was an example. You can create your own prayer, your own thing, and you can pray it each day. But you want this to go on 24 hours a day. You want it to go on 7 days a week. You want it to go on every hour, every minute, every second. So it's constantly doing these things. It's intelligent. Like people want to tell God what to do with negative energy. God already knows what to do with negative energy. People want to tell the Earth Mother what to do with negative energy. She already knows how to do that. Knowing this you can create your prayer. And like I say, when you call on angels and spirits, you don't need to tell them what to do. They're really, really intelligent. Some of them are billions of years old, and they know everything about energy. So when you call this in, and you give it the right kinds of understanding, it works day and night. And you can go to these places in the fifth dimension. There are teachers that can give you more and more knowledge how to do this. So when you call it in for your children, it protects them. It does all kinds of things for your home and for other people. And it doesn't hurt for you to do this. If you got sick people, whatever, you can call it in. And like I say, it can heal you of all kinds of stuff. You got friends that are going through things. Ask this flame to do that. Let them know this. Let them know they can do this themselves. As an example, in the name of the I am of my being, so this is where he's giving the example of the violet flame. In the name of my I am being, in the name of God, I now call forth the action of the violet flame of transmutation, of compassion, and forgiveness in my auric field, for the cleansing and purifying of every thought and feeling in my solar plex and in all my chakras. I ask the action of the violet fire to permeate every cell, atom, electron of my four body systems at this moment and at all times each day of my life, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the healing of all distortions in my energy field from the past and present misunderstandings. I ask the energy of the violet flame to start healing all distortions in my physical, emotional, and mental body. With much gratitude, I now ask for the action of the violet fire to manifest in my energy field in full power, and so be it. And that is a very powerful prayer because it's going to do a lot of things. Hey, Frank Peepers. You can use this kind of invocation to create your own. Sit quietly, visualize it, breathe it in, use the breath in a conscious and sustained manner, bringing it into your auric field in a more tangible, creative manner. Then ask the violet flame to assist this activity for the rest of the day. It will continue its action for you while you perform your daily activities. That's why I say when you get up, call these things in and let them work for you. And you can ask in the morning when you get up, and it's there throughout your whole day doing things. Whenever you invoke the flame of God and you ask for its momentum to be sustained, its activity will be continued until you engage in disharmony in your feeling world. So as soon as you go into a negative, it disconnects. If you realize that, you can go, oh, and call it back. The vibration stops until you make peace within yourself and invoke it again. As long as you stay harmonious in your thoughts and feelings, the flames will continue to work. If you come to a situation of disharmony, invoke it again to recover your emotional balance. The more you visualize it, the more you stay in your heart with it in your meditations, in your momentum it is building. There was a time with earlier dispensations in the late century when people were not willing to meditate. So we formulated a series of decrees where many people invoked the violet flame or the flame of other rays daily and sometimes for long hours. Unfortunately, for many people, this type of devotion became a mental ritual, lacking the real fervor of the heart. Though these people meant well and were sincere, it is best to say a decree or prayer only a few times with all the fervor of the heart or heart you can master. And take the time needed to create the alchemy of love. When you make an invocation, a prayer, allow yourself to fully feel its energy in your heart and charge it with love then allow the energy to do its perfect work. There are several thousand people in the last century who have made their ascension by invoking the violet flame every day for years and years. They invoked it with so much love and fervor in their hearts without ever really knowing what they were transmuting. They allowed all their shadows to surface and their awareness without ever judging them, but surrendered the energies by bathing them in the violet fire. These dear souls did not have the access to all the tools and information you now have. It was through faith and consistency that they continued until they could breathe until their last human breath. By this gradual process, they changed little by little all the negative energies from many lives, past and present, into pure gold, liquid light. When they passed on to the other side of the veil, they made their glorious ascension without delay. Today they are among us, wearing robes of light and enjoying all the bounty of the fifth dimension. Ariella, do you have to be consciously aware of what you are transmuting? Adam, not always. It is good to know in some cases, but it is not a requirement. What is important is that you pour your love into it. It is always the love, the forgiveness, the compassion poured into a situation that transmuted into something better. By changing a negative situation into a positive one, by gaining the wisdom of those energies are trying to teach you. If you have a problem with someone, send waves and waves of violet flame to them or her, him or her. As you send waves of love, compassion, forgiveness, and blessings to a situation, it becomes impossible for it to remain the same. Universal law requires resolution for whatever receives love and blessing. The activity of blessing is also a form of transmutation. Just have a drink here. Hey, Alastrum 25, yeah, rigorous honesty. Yeah, I'm glad you joined us. So these things, like I say, they're intelligent. If you're really, really calling it in, it's gonna teach and show you all kinds of things. That's why meditation is so important. But you can't get anybody to do it. They all have to choose. And you don't want dogma. You don't want to go into the old whatever practices. You want to do this with happiness. So call it in the morning and allow it to be throughout your whole day. Call it into your sleep so it could work on you while you're sleeping. Go to these higher dimensions. Go to these teachers. Bring in this knowledge, everything you can. And then ask, how do I share and teach this? The activity of blessing is also a form of transmutation, a seventh ray activity. And this is where people are tested in their prayers, people are tested in their meditations, people are tested in all kinds of things. And people throw in the towel really easy and give up. As you start blessing all the manifestations as less than divine perfection in your lives, you are transforming and transmuting situations that appear to be negative into something far more positive. You create the divine solution and a win-win situation for everyone manifests. This is what transmutation does. It creates a transformation that makes everyone a winner. Ariella, how would someone having a problem with their spouse or ill feelings towards their boss or anyone else use the violet flame to transmute or heal their situation? Adam, first of all, you have to be detached from the outcome. And that's where you can't command it. You want it this way, that way. If you start out wanting to make changes or desiring a specific outcome, you will most likely miss the boat. This is why it is always wiser to ask for the perfect divine solution. If you desire to be specific about the outcome you wish to create, it is important that you allow the space for different outcomes by adding to your prayer or intention this or something better according to the divine will. Your higher self sees and knows the bigger picture that is veiled from you. Let's say a marriage situation appears to be ending. At the time you say, "Oh my gosh, I prayed and I invoked so much violet flame into this situation. I did all I could to be loving, compassionate, and to bring resolution with love and forgiveness. And now it seems I have more challenging situations." Now contemplate this. Ask yourself if the ending of a marriage was a failure or a spiritual victory. I say that if you have done your very best and a situation does not end the way you hoped for, perhaps it was a karmic relationship that had reached completion. Perhaps your higher self is now ready to open your life to something much more appropriate for your pathway and for your happiness. The marriage breakup in that case was certainly a spiritual success, not a failure, because the fine quality of inner work that was done, the right to move on to something more fulfilling, is earned. The feeling of the loss or the sense of failure is but a temporary human illusion. And that's where it's all chemistry. And this is where people go in and out and cry over things and that they never move on. They just sit there on their butt hurts and just make it worse for no reason. 2 years later, you find yourself in a wondrous new relationship where you are so much happier and where there is so much more affinity and harmony. Will you remember at the time the pool of the violet fire you previously invoked that created this new avenue in your life? There are times when karmic situations are resolved and it is time to move on. This is the way your prayers are answered. You are now free to experience something better versus staying in a relationship that has reached completion. At this time, it is important to let go of a situation that no longer serves you. The divine solution may not always at first appear to be what you want, but whatever is created will always be for your spiritual advancement and will always bring the best results. The violet flame is also known as the miracle worker. When you bless a person you have a problem with, a spouse, a neighbor, a boss, someone in your work environment, a relative, visualize him or her bathing in the violet vibration of violet flame. Acknowledge the right of that person to become free of his or her own burdens and awaken to their full potential. Do this with compassion and forgiveness. Also use the flame of diplomacy in all your interactions with others. This is part of the seventh ray activity. If you start using the seventh ray with its many attributes and have no personal agenda other than wanting the best outcome of the divine will, you will be amazed at the miracles that can manifest in your own life and the lives of others around you. This is how peace on earth will be created. Ariella, many people are going to find that part about not having a personal agenda difficult because they want it their own way. And that's what everybody does. They all go to people for healing, but then they all want it their own way. And if it's not their way, then they just bring it all back and they do it over again and over again. And that's where after a while, you get so much knowledge, you become your own enemy. And you distort things. You make yourself really confused. Where you get tested with prayers and with knowledge and wisdom. You start working with it. The more you help others with this, the more it heals and changes you. And that's where your children, I don't care if they're 50 years old, use this. If they're in dysfunctions or in drugs and everything, ask it to come in. Somewhere they're going to want it because they chose you as the parent for a reason. And maybe now you're supposed to use this prayer and knowledge in some way that's going to help them and help others, maybe even your ancestors. But whatever it is, something is going to go on. So many people are going to find that part about not having a personal agenda difficult because they want it their own way. Adam, most of you are so focused on the end result of what you want that you tend to lose sight of what you have to release in order to let go and let God within do the perfect work. The various flames of God contain divine intelligence. And this is why I say it's very intelligent. Don't insult it. Don't insult your oversoul and all kinds of stuff. God contains very intelligent or intelligence or consciousness. They are aware of the bigger picture and they know what is best for you. There are literally hundreds and thousands and millions of guardians and masters working with each flame. That's why I say, get off this commanding Archangel Michael and stuff. Invite your gang in every day. Don't worry about what the hell their names are. They don't give a shit if you know their names. Like, let them come in and help you. They have all kinds of things to teach you from many, many lifetimes and stuff. Wanting it your way is like saying, well, God, I want this, but I want it my way. Even it is ultimately not for my greatest good. If you insist, do not be surprised if you get it. God always wants to give you the desire of your heart. You may soon find out this is not really what you need. And that's what people do. They get everything and then they say, oh, it's so negative. Oh, it's so bad. I'm like, that's what you wanted. So God gave it to you. Now you're crying and whining. You created it. It's your nightmare. So let it go and let God fix it. If you insist, do not be surprised if you get it. In natives, we say, be careful what you pray. We always say that. God always wants to give you the desire of your heart. You may soon find out that is not really what you needed. These flames want to bring forth the most magnificent outcomes in your life. But what you are determined to have is what will manifest. When you are determined to have it your own way, the universe will give it to you, and you may find out several months or years later that you missed a better outcome. Remember, lack of trust was the energy of the original fall of consciousness of mankind, and the experience you had with the lack of trust had been very painful indeed. This needs to always be this need to always be in charge instead of being in allowance has created much disharmony. The higher aspect of you loves you totally and wants nothing but your happiness and to bring you back home to enlightenment and mastery. People are afraid to experience the dark night of their own creation, and that's where we all got to go into our own garbage dumps. We got to look at our own shit. We got to stop pretending to be angels. Oh, namaste. Oh, you're such an angel. And I hate when people do that crap. People are afraid to experience the dark night of their own creation. What got people in trouble in the first place was this lack of trust. And this is where people want me to help them, but they don't trust me. They want to come to me and get a clearing, and then they have no trust in me. And then after they're done, like I say, all kinds, everything changes, and then they bring it all back. And some of them will come back to me later and say, oh, it all healed, but now it's back again. I'm like, yeah, because you wanted it. And people want to bliss out all the time. That's all they want to do. And I'm like, y'all got to wake up and stop playing these silly games. People are afraid to experience the dark night of their own creation. What got people in trouble in the first place was the lack of trust. When people decided they no longer wished to trust God to feed them 3 times a day and decide to get their own meals, a misalignment was created. When they stopped listening to the voice of their own spirit, they separated themselves from the flow of the divine. Now, several thousand lifetimes later, there is no longer trust in the union between divine spirit and will, and nearly everyone lives in fear and lack of some kind. Now it is your time, through experience and acceptance, to regain and relearn the energy of trust, in spite of appearance, through intention and release, through allowance of all that is, the boulders you have created that block the doors of everything will be dissolved. You will be free to step in. You will finally be home. Ariella, is this the bottom line with the healing that is needed to take place in all our hearts and souls? Adam, exactly. Soon humanity is going to begin learning their lessons in more dramatic ways. E- Events will transpire on the planet requiring people to make the biggest choices of many lifetimes. Your Earth Mother will soon no longer tolerate types of separation that has transpired here on her body, and people are going to have to shape up or ship out. The new world order of this planet is not what your world leaders are projecting, but will be a life in total union with the presence of God within and with the Creator. Divine order will be restored here in a few short years. And this is coming really fast. Natives have always tried to do this, to work with the Earth Mother, but really lots of people are using native ceremonies and practices wrong. And they're using the connection to nature and energy and that, thinking they're powerful. It's not that. And the Earth Mother is going to get even with everybody that does things wrong. She will. And you got to go in other planets and places to reincarnate to figure it out. So, the events appear to be unjust or unfair are usually mirrors of the consciousness of people. They always create with the energies of collective conscious. For example, in your country, many people do not like your government and do not want to become involved in any political activity because it is perceived as too negative. You have books upon books, websites upon websites describing all the wrongs and the corruption of your government. This is written and presented to the public. Is usually true, and though your governments are corrupt to the very core, you need to remember that they always mirror the consciousness of the people they govern. What does that tell you? When the people collectively raise their consciousness to embrace universal law of love, truth, and harmony, they no longer attract the kind of government you now have. This is not only in the US, but also applies to all countries on the planet. When a cataclysm occurs, the same holds true. Cataclysms are nothing more than nature's way of cleansing the imbalance of toxicity created by the conscious of collective. You do not honor the earth, you trash her body, you create increasingly more pollution, and use her resources unwisely. In so doing, as a collective, you create large pools of unbalanced energies that sooner or later must be released and cleansed by the cataclysms you often experience in various places of the planet, like earthquakes and that. They happen for a reason. They get rid of bad energy. Even when you have floods and storms and things, that's to get rid of bad energy. When you, like in Australia where they had that flood, they said 6 months of rain in 3 days, and it flooded out everything to get rid of bad energy. When these balancing cataclysms manifest, they are charged with a wave upon wave of violet flames, full of God's fire that purify. After a war, there is tremendous amounts of personal and planetary karma balance. Greater understandings is reached, although it may not seem apparent when this is true, is viewed through the eyes of those who still strive to control your free will. True, many people have suffered, but they also balance their own personal karma in the process. After World War II, when so much karma was balanced on the planet, it opened a way for the expansion, new technology, and greater ease you enjoy today. Ariella, do you mean that everything we experience in our personal relationships or as society, a culture, or country are all mere created to reflect self and the collective consciousness? Adam, everything that happens, be it on the personal or global level, whether it is a volcano erupting or an earthquake, a riot in one of your cities, or a war, always reflects the unbalance or repressed energy of people are holding within themselves. It reflects the anger, the fear, the deception, the greed, the human injustice, the grief, etc., the people are holding within their souls. They are nothing more than mirrors of what is out of alignment at the human level. Ariella, most people do not understand how to create our reality, and so that if they create their own reality, they would create the perfect body, house, or mate, abundant money, etc. Adam. The problem is that people have not yet understood or realized how they are creating. Also, their creations do not necessarily stem from this lifetime alone. Karma or lack of understanding has to be cleared before new and perfect can be manifest. People create constantly with their moment by moment thoughts and feelings, their words and actions, and internal dialogue in the mind during every waking hour. People may say, I want a perfect body or marriage, but the thoughts and feelings they entertain most of the time do not support their desires. If someone were to show them moment by moment what the thought or feelings are and how unbalanced they are in creating their reality, they would understand why they do not have the healthy or perfect body they desire or the perfect relationship and abundance they want. And that's where a lot of people are confused. People have to really become conscious of their thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Words are very powerful, and you constantly reinforce their energies with your feelings. Yet, words do not always match your feelings. You may say, I want more money, but inside you, you feel poor. You want to be involved in a better relationship, but inside you, you don't deserve it, and you are not willing to weed out the garden of your soul in order to attract the perfect mate. And this is where people attract over and over and over bad experiences in relationships. You have to really clean everything up. You got to desire something way better, and you got to start fixing yourself and doing all kinds of stuff. You say, I want a perfect body, but inside you, you do not love yourself. You do not love your body as it is. You are not in acceptance of the lessons you are learning with the body in its perfect or in its present form. The body can only respond to love, and nearly all of you do not love or take care of your bodies, of yourself, like we do in Telos. Very few of you love yourself enough to nurture yourself and your bodies properly and consistently. Most of you do not give your bodies the proper nourishment it needs to rejuvenate and radiate perfect health. How then do you expect to create a perfect body for yourself? You constantly reaffirm what you do not want instead of what you want. You live in a house of mirrors, and the universe gives you back much of what you create through your thoughts, feelings, and words. When you decree, I am sick and tired of this and of that, you are creating a very powerful affirmation that returns to your to you the energy you just named. And when you say sick, I'm sick and tired, you become sick, don't you? And you're tired, you're exhausted. Exactly what you're saying, you are creating. You are constantly creating affirmations of what you don't want. Be aware that the universe hears you and honors what you say. If she says, I am sick and tired, and keeps affirming it with so much strength and power, it must be what she wants. Let's give it to her or him. And so you get more and more of the same, and the mirror keeps reflecting. Ariella, now, in terms of using the violet flame to balance karma, since we obviously still have to learn the lessons from the karma, how do we learn the lesson if we simply use the violet flame to get rid of it? The violet flame will not just get rid of it. That is not its purpose. The violet flame will assist you in balancing it, but it will teach you as well the lessons you need to learn, albeit a more gentle way. If you remain in resistance to the lessons and understanding that your challenging situations teach you, the use of the violet flame may not bring the desired result. It cannot be misused to prevent you from gaining the experience and wisdom that are ultimately the true meaning of karma. Yet there is a difference between learning a lesson in a gentle way from wise guidance that you embrace to living through a very difficult experience in order to receive the same understanding. Do you see the difference? The violet flame can bring you to a space where you learn your lesson in a very loving and gentle manner, where you can learn in ease and grace. It does not have to be a painful or difficult as what you are choosing to experience with your lesson at this time. Your resistance to open yourself to the higher and easier way is what creates the harshness in your life. Another invocation of the violet flame. Here is another way you can use the violet flame for the world around you. You can definitely make an invocation and say, in the name of the great I am, I call the beloved Saint Germain to saturate the world with wave upon wave of violet fire, to infuse every particle of life, every man, woman, child on this planet in an auric field of violet flames to protect and to awaken them, to ask that this action be sustained until perfection is restored, and so be it. You can make this invocation in your daily prayer and call upon the millions of violet flame angels who are just waiting for your petition to go to work. Send them everywhere to fill the world with violet fire. Angels are not allowed to interfere in your world unless your call is made from your plane. Send them to work. They are waiting to answer your prayers. The violet angels will literally flood the planet with violet fire and reduce much pain in your daily life. Ask them to flood your personal world with the violet flame energy. Ariella, it seems important to send energy of the flames out to every man, woman, and child on the planet, and with our hearts flood the earth with that energy. Adam, yes. And don't forget the animals, trees, the elementals, the nature spirits, and the plant kingdom. The elements are often in need of your assistance, your love and your support, and your invocations of the violet flame in order to be able to maintain balance on the planet. They need to know more than they need to now more than ever during this time of transition. The elementals are very involved with assisting the planet into a higher octave. They are your helpers. The more violet flame and love they receive from humanity, the smoother the transition is going to be for the earth and for all kingdoms living on her body. Ariella, if they receive from humanity, the smoother the transition is going to be for the earth and for all kingdoms living on her body. Ariella, perfection you all experience there. Adam, you bet we do. We use the energies of the violet flame constantly in various temples. The energy of the sacred fires are perpetually invoked by the members and the priesthood and by the people of the community. In our main temple, the temple of Ma-Ra, capital M-A/R-A, Ma-Ra, we have constructed an area to each one of these 7 flames. Our people take turns tending and nurturing these flames around the clock. We live in consciousness of these flames and we constantly embrace their full energies. In turn, we are blessed beyond measure by life. Outside of Telos and areas of the etheric Lemurian city of light, we have temples consecrated for each one of the main sacred flames. These temples are quite large, and the beings living in these areas nurture the flames with their love, devotion, and invocation around the clock. The 5th dimensional population is quite large, the masters and angels of the sacred fire, along with the priesthood of these temples, take turns tending and invoking the qualities and attributes of these flames. They do so for themselves, for the planet, for humanity, and for the energy required to maintain and increase the level of perfection of the dimensions they live in. This type of ritual, dear ones, is done in every dimension. Angels of sacred fires, angels from various choirs join in and support the many flames we nurture. This is what makes up higher dimensions so beautiful and wondrous to live in. This activity was also carried forth in all temples in the time of Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, and in all former golden ages. It will soon become important on the surface. You start becoming involved with the nurturing and expansion of these flames, first with inside yourself and for the planet. We have done this for ourselves and also for your benefit for centuries. Soon it will be required for those on the surface who aspire to ascend, step into more spiritual maturity. You'll be required to bring your own personal contribution to these flames for humanity and for the planet. It is a requirement in the fifth dimension. Are you ready for a meditation now? So we're going to do the meditation. So yeah, this violet flame is really an amazing thing when you start letting it come in. You start using it first thing in your day, ask it to come in for healing. When you go to sleep at night, ask to go to these temples. And like I say, they're very intelligent. And in other lifetimes, you were connected to these things, but we've disconnected for a long time and we're trying to go back into that. So starting to practice this and starting to use it in all kinds of ways. And the more you understand and work with this, you're going to see things changing more and more and more. Find where you want to be and go along with me. Like if they say go to your macabre, whatever, your soul knows what to do, your higher self. So allow yourself to sort of flow along as I read this. So journey to the violet flame temple in Telos with Adam and Master Germain. I now ask that you center in your heart and state your intention to be filled with loving energies of your divine presence. So you're calling down your higher energy, your divine presence. You may do this in this manner, in the name of the I am that I am, from the Lord God of my being. I ask now that every cell, every atom, and every electron of my four body systems, all my subtle bodies, every particle of life of who I am, in all dimensions and states of consciousness, be totally filled with the wonders and miracle energies of the violet flame of freedom, love. I now ask to be filled again and again, 24 hours a day, each day of my life. Breathe it in. As you're being filled with the violet flame energies, set your intentions to come on a journey with us and with your higher self to the beautiful violet flame temple in the fifth dimension inside Telos. This flame has an etheric physical structure, and our people can access it at any time. And so can you in your light body. In this temple, the violet flame burns perpetually, nurtured by the love and devotion of our people, blessing life, blessing mankind and the planet. This is a place where Master Saint Germain spends much time with the twin flame, Portia, and the legions of violet flame angels recharging and tending the energies of the violet flame for the planet. Keep breathing the energies as much as you can so you can bring it back with you to your physical body when you return to full consciousness. Now see yourself standing in a large circular room with high ceilings with where the violet flame is present everywhere. The walls are made of pure violet amethyst, and the floors are also made of amethyst crystal and a smoother texture and light color. Piercing through the amethyst wall, you will see a great number of violet toned lights that give you the feeling of a mystical starry vision. The room is bright, and you see dozens of fountains of all sizes and shapes emanating every possible shade of violet hue in a magical play of color and tones. The water fairies have great fun playing with these energies. Watch their exaltations in their playful joy. The flower fairies are very busy creating beautiful flowers of all shades of white, gold, and violet with this light energy. Some of them throwing some at you as you pass their way as blessings and welcoming you. Join in to partake of their joy and bliss. Also notice the multitudes of violet flame angels tending the fire with their love and adoration. The violet fire is not hot, it is basically on a cool side. There are several chairs in the room, and we ask each of you to choose the one you are drawn to, where it feels the most comfortable to you. The chairs are made of pure violet crystal, and under each one is a flame of violet rising up to enfold you. As it burns up from beneath, it is entering and infusing every part of your body through the lower chakras. There's also another flame coming down from above, penetrating your crown chakra and infusing every cell of your body. As you breathe it into your heart consciously, you are being filled with the violet flame of freedom like never before. There are several violet flame angels surrounding each one of you, pouring cups of love and cups of violet fire into your energy fields and the various aspects of your life needing healing. The experience is going to be different for each one of you. Keep breathing in the energy. Now see Saint Germain with his Lady Portia and Lady Kuan Yin, the Lady of Mercy and Compassion, filling you with their love and imprinting the auric field with the flame of compassion, which is also the 7-ray energies. Now open yourself to greater levels of compassion for your own healing and for the healing of those you love. Whatever it is that you feel needs healing in your life, invoke the energies of compassion and forgiveness into it. Allow the changes you want to take place. Stay in that state of bliss as long as you want. Talk to us. Talk to Saint Germain or Kuan Yin. Set your intentions to completely heal yourself, to heal all traumas of the present and the past. This room is filled with powerful healing energies. As you sit and bathe in it, feel dark energies transform into light. Wherever there have been problems, traumas, or pain, feel the energies starting to lift and dissolve. Feel a lessening of density and how much lighter you are becoming. Feel the lightness and sensation of joy infusing your being. As you allow yourself to feel greater joy, you lessen your burdens. Allow this lightness, this beauty, this love and power to nurture you. Keep breathing in. Consciously request the violet flame what you would like it to do for you. Sometimes between your asking and the fulfillment of your requests, clearing processes needed to take place, and step by step, you are working towards your victory. Do not feel rushed. Take all the time you need. When you feel ready, you look around and you see guides, masters, and angels smiling at you, willing to assist you if you have a query. The angels, by the way, especially those who work with mankind, come here to recharge with the violet flame vibration several times a week and often daily. The unbalanced energy on the planet contaminates their force fields. They come here to cleanse and revitalize. We invite you to do the same. Stay with us here as long as you wish. When you are ready, come back to full consciousness. Now be mindful of not recreating in your life, through your thoughts, feelings, and words, the energies you have just transmuted. We invite you to come back to this temple anytime you want. The door is now open to you. Master Saint Germain will often be there for you, and his angels will delight in offering their love and assistance. As we conclude our talk today, we honor you for your openness. We send you blessings of love, courage, and wisdom. We will also join our dear friend Saint Germain, who commits to sending waves of violet flame into the hearts of all those who will be reading this material later on. So be it. So that's the 7 violet flames.